Nick Bosa. We're going to talk to you. No one addresses you directly anymore. No one looks you in the eye. You make more money than Kyle Shanahan and John Lynch put together. You're essentially the second highest paid person in the organization after Jed York. So you run this team. You own it. You have a part ownership stake. We're talking right to you, though, okay? Because we don't work for you. And you're a really good player, Nick, but we got to axe to grind. A bone to pick. You need to set a better example for the rest of the players, Nick. You're a captain. You're the best player on the team. And frankly, you're a little selfish out there. Out there hunting stats, hunting sacks, obviously to justify the Mondo extension you signed. I get it. But you are the guy who rushes past the quarterback and lets him escape out of the pocket. You didn't do it against the Eagles, and you really, really talked a lot about how proud you were that you didn't sell out for sacks. We were all proud of you, Nick. But then you went back and did it against the Ravens. And so when you do it, Chase Young does it. Cleveland Farrell does it. Randy Gregory does it. Because you give them the license. You're the best player. So, Nick, please don't hunt sacks in the playoffs. You don't need to. Keep the quarterback in the pocket. Just generate pressure. Play non-selfishly. Sorry I had to put it that way, but that's how I feel. Coach might disagree.
A little. So, Nick, solid year. You've caught up. You were late this year coming in, and really, it's been an up and down year for you in the run game, and that's really where it stands as far as being able to hold down the edge. And I do commend your effort. You came into a new style of defense. We're asked to have a whole new different set of responsibilities in order to have the defense pop off. And on top of it, your own individual production suffered as a result of that. With that, you're still on pace. I mean, we're sitting here at one game left in the season. You're 1.5 sacks better than your rookie year when you had the AP Defensive Rookie of the Year.
Yeah, I'm not concerned about your sacks, Nick. I'm impressed. You're an excellent pass rusher, man.
10.5 sacks.
Oh, yeah.
All right. The defensive player of the year that year, last year, you had 41 solo tackles. You're 7 tackles off of that with 34 and 18 assist tackles, which is 8 more than the 10 you had last year, rounding out 19 versus 16 tackles for loss in the 2 previous years. So right now, you're neck and neck with the production. What I've seen is that the assist tackles is where we've seen the biggest uptick in your production, which kind of shows that you are holding a lot more responsibilities and not being able to hunt your food as more. Maybe that's emblematic of what Grant's talking about when he sees you kind of playing selfishly, if you will, where you seem to be pressing to get your own numbers because you have so much more responsibility because you are the $35 million man. What we need to see right now is just consistency. That's the biggest thing that we need to see out of you, Nick. We need to see the same level of effect that you have on our defense during the season. Just simply lateral that over into the playoffs, because that seems to be the trend. The trend seems to be, it's not the fact that you're not great in the playoffs. You're not off the charts in the playoffs. You're just not yourself, right? You're not as consistent as you can be when you are in the regular season. So we don't need to see, ridiculous numbers that completely make you the tip of the spear amongst all teams across the tournament. We just need you to be your regular self in the playoffs and need to understand that there are going to be teams that are going to scheme for you. They're going to chip, push, pull on you, trap you, leave you alone. You need to be cognizant of those things and just understand that, hey, heavy wears the crown, especially with the price tag. But we just need you to be consistent, lateral over the same production in the season into the playoffs.
Yeah. And Nick, what did you say before you faced Jalen Hurts? What was the plan? What's the blueprint for Jalen Hurts? Don't give him diagonal escape paths out of the pocket, meaning don't give up the B gap. Don't let him be able to run up and out. You made that real clear. If he escapes the pocket, he has to go back and around. You made that real clear. That should be the goal every week, not just for Jalen Hurts. You never want to give up those diagonal escape paths for a quarterback, because Once he escapes that way, he doesn't have to run past the line of scrimmage. He can just sort of tightrope that line of scrimmage, and the whole defense is at his mercy. You're out of the play. Zone defense is broken down. Everyone's just plastering and trying to hold on for dear life at that point. Stafford will destroy you that way. Jarrett Stidham put up 30 points on you guys that way. That should be the goal every freaking week, Nick. And I know it's tough because you want to rush up field and spin back and sack the quarterback, but you don't have to. You don't have to justify your contract in the playoffs. You just have to win the Super Bowl. If you win the Super Bowl, no one's going to care about how much money you're making or that you only had 10.5 sacks this year. So be mature. Be prudent. I believe in Nick. I think he can do it now that we've told him. Nick, thanks for listening. Appreciate it.
Yeah, I mean, we just need the same production, man. You know what I mean? Like we saw it last year where it was kind of like, where is he? You know what I'm saying? So we just need to see him we just need him to lateral in that same production. That's all.